Welcome to MacGregor Point Provincial Park. In this video, I'm going to be sharing our full camping experience here at MacGregor. We've been here one time before for winter camping, so if you haven't checked out that video, I'll link it on the screen and in the description below. But on this trip, we are here for the spring, so let's go check out the park. MacGregor Provincial Park is located in Port Elgin, Ontario, approximately 3 hours northwest of Toronto. It's known for its beautiful shorelines, trails, and amazing sunsets over Lake Huron. We stayed for 4 nights in mid-May, and this is what we got up to. The water filling station here is actually really great because they have 4 stations that you can fill up your trailer, 2 on each side, so no matter which side your tank is on, it'll be a breeze to fill up here. And the water pressure was strong.
The permit office is a bit of a drive from the water station, so far away that we thought we actually missed it. There is a little tiny office near the water filling station, but it's not the permit office that you got to go to check in.
MacGregor has 343 campsites, and 117 of these are non-electric. The rest are electric, and there are 17 roofed accommodations in the Algonquin campground. The other campsites are divided among Algonquin, Huron, and Nipissing. We were in the Nipissing campground, and once we parked, we headed out to check out the campground while we still had some light. The comfort station here is your typical plumbed comfort station. There are showers, laundry, and flush toilets for men and women. There's also an accessible shower and a specific accessible washroom area as well, and it looks like it's in need of a little bit of an upgrade. Well, it seems like there's another comfort station within walking distance of our campsite, so we're going to check it out now, and it looks much more modern and new. This comfort station has a much nicer laundry room with what looks like newer machines. They also have stainless steel shelves, so you can fold your laundry in here too. And despite having one stall out of order, this one looks like it's much newer and cleaner. And even the showers here look like they are in much better condition. Well, we got a much later start than we wanted to. It's about 8 o'clock and we're just finishing getting all set up. And then we have to make something to eat. So tonight's going to be a pretty low-key evening. We're going to get the fire started in a minute and then just chill. So we'll see you in the morning. We had a slow morning, and by the time we got up, got ready, and ate, it was already lunchtime. So we decided to head into town. If you want to leave your campground and head into Port Elgin, we recommend going to 3 Sheets Brewing. This is a beautiful brewery with indoor and outdoor seating. They have 12 beers on tap, or at least they did when we were there, and it was a perfect atmosphere to get away from the campground for a little afternoon. And while you're in Port Elgin, you can also come down to the main beach area with tons of parking. They have a gazebo and some other spots where you can sit along the water. This is a beautiful area if you want to spend a day by the beach and in the water. Plus, they have a lovely boardwalk where you can go out for a walk. And there's tons of boats here in the marina that you can check out while you're here. The park store here at MacGregor is actually very nice. They have a lot of stuff inside, so if you forget anything like condiments, eggs, they have you covered. They also have tons of souvenirs. I was able to get my park sticker to add to my passport, and if you want to rent bikes, they have those here too. Plus, they have the usual like kindling, firewood, and ice. We're back from Port Elgin, and now it's time to explore the beautiful park, and the weather is definitely cooperating with us today. I manifested sunshine and it came through. Now we're gonna go explore some of the trails. We are on the Old Shore Road Trail, which is a 6-kilometer easy linear trail, and it connects some of the campgrounds and other areas of the park together along the shores of Lake Huron. I like this trail because it does have some beautiful water lookouts, and like it says, it's not too difficult. There's an entrance to this trail from our campground in Nipissing, so it was very easy to get here, just a couple sites down from where we were staying. Although the sun has gotten super hot this afternoon, this path actually has a lot of shade.
I'm loving the shade on this path and how smooth the path is overall.
The path is also very nicely marked so you can see which way you're going, and there are these number signs that tell you where you are if you're referring to the map. The shorelines here are actually quite rocky, but I think it adds to the ambiance and atmosphere. And Lake Huron is known for its sunset, so if you are here, definitely plan to come down to the lake area to check out one of the sunsets. The Campers Beach is a nice big sandy beach in a little cove area, so the water seems like it's nice and calm here. And even though it's not the hottest out today, there are still people here on the beach enjoying this beautiful weather. We are doing the Huron Fringe Trail, which is a 1.2 kilometer easy loop trail, and it takes you past the turtle pond so you get some amazing water views. I think tomorrow, when the majority of the long weekenders get here, it's going to be much busier on this trail. So I'm really glad that we did it tonight because it is so peaceful here. We basically have the whole trail to ourselves because there was no other cars in the parking lot, and the birds are chirping, and it's just a lovely place to be. Plus, the sun isn't as strong over here. We're getting some nice shade, so it's a very pleasant evening. The visitor center hours are 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., so we didn't make it today, but outside they have this listing of all the various activities that are taking place throughout the weekend, and we're going to check back so that we can see inside. Right by the visitor center, they also have the campfire circle, which is a semicircle in front of, you guessed it, a fire pit. There also looks like there's a stage area, so they may use this area for presentations or just to gather by a campfire. Now it's time for us to head back to our campsite and figure out what we feel like making for dinner. We made it to Water Snake Pond, and this is a beautiful spot. They have a little boardwalk with a sitting area and a picnic table, so if you luck in like us, you could have it all to yourself. This would be a great place for a picnic. There are frogs, birds, and insects going wild right now, and we're on the hunt for turtles because I really want to see a painted turtle.
This is a great spot to get the bird app out and see what's in the area. So far in the area, we've got a common yellow-throat, red-winged blackbird, American redstart, killdeer, red-eyed viero, yellow warbler, swamp sparrow, and a northern water thrush.
We made it back to the visitor center, and inside they have a lot of activities and informational booths for kids, but it was also interesting for us adults. Of all the trails here at MacGregor, I must say that I think the boardwalk trails are my favorite, so the Huron and the Fringe trails, definitely check those out. Then after a day of hiking, we ventured into Southampton, a charming little town about 25 minutes north of the park along the shores of Lake Huron. Here we stopped at Outlaw Brewing Company for a craft beer, and then we headed over to the Walker House for dinner with my hubby's parents. As you can see, the portion sizes here were very generous, and the food was delicious too. Then after an action-packed day, we headed back to the campsite and called it a night. Well, it is a beautiful morning here. It's going up to 25 degrees today, which is amazing. We decided to head down to do another trail this morning. When we got to the parking lot, we actually got the last spot. It's pretty packed in here, so we're going to head over to do the therapy and tower trails now. This trail is 3.5 kilometers and it shouldn't be too difficult. The sign says that you should give yourself approximately an hour to an hour and a half to complete it, and it'll probably take us a little bit longer because we like to stop along the way to take pictures and videos. Approximately 1.2 kilometers of this trail is the first Ontario Parks Therapy Trail. We tried this back in the winter, but we didn't make it too far because of the ice and snow. So we're looking forward to doing this entire trail on this trip. There's a really great lookout point here on this trail so that you can see out over the pond. And while we were here, they even had a park staff explaining what some of the bird calls were and showing which birds were which. If you're doing this trail, a tip for you is to make sure that you bring water, sunscreen, and a hat if you need one, because once you get to the pond area, there is pretty much no shade. And it is rather muggy today around the pond. Another tip for you, there is also a lot of bird droppings or small animal droppings on the trail, so you really do have to watch where you step. And on this trail, they also have a bird blind, which is a really cool spot to look out over the little pond here. And they even have benches inside so that you can sit and enjoy the bird sightings. MacGregor has 5 hiking trails that range from easy to moderate. We've done a bunch of them this weekend and can confirm the easy ones are pretty easy and leisurely. We're just finishing the trail now, and it took us approximately 1 hour and 45 minutes, and that was with numerous stops along the way to admire the birds. We saw a turtle, and I even saw a water snake. The Deus Beach area is really nice. They have a pretty large parking lot, and down at the beach there are picnic tables. Not a lot of shade though, so if you are coming here, I would recommend bringing your own umbrellas. Made it out to Sunset Point, and this is a lovely area to come and just relax. They have a bench out here and a picnic table, so luckily we were able to snag the bench. There's only a few other people out here who are throwing rocks, but we're enjoying the view, and it would be a lovely spot to come and check out the sunset. We're probably not going to do that since we're already here and sunset isn't for another 5 or 6 hours. But if you're here and it's time for sunset, come check this spot out. On our drive back to our campsite, we just saw a little turtle trying to cross the road. So I got out of the truck and shooed it back to the other side where there was water. So be careful when you're driving here because there may be turtles crossing the road. Well, it's getting close to the end of our trip here at MacGregor, so it's time for me to tell you my likes and dislikes about this park. The first thing I really like about MacGregor are the trails. The trails that we did were so nice and relaxing, very leisurely, and my favorite was the one right by the visitor center, Huron Fringe, because it takes you to the turtle pond and another swampy area, and it's just beautiful to see the turtles and other wildlife. Another thing I really liked about this park was that the visitor center offered activities. So you could do a scavenger hunt or the amazing race, and they also had a board with activities listed. The park is also really close to Port Elgin, so if you do need any amenities or forgot anything, you can zip into town, or if you're like us and want to check out a craft brewery, you can do that too. And the last thing I really liked about this park is that it would be a great park to spend some time at the beach. They have numerous sandy beaches to choose from, and they all look pretty lovely for swimming. On a side note, just mentioning cell signal, it was pretty good throughout the park, but I wouldn't say you could work from here if you were working remotely because we did have some patches where we really didn't have any signal. And now it's time for what I didn't like about this park. And honestly, there weren't that many things to mention. The first thing was the campgrounds had some big potholes, especially in our campground, which was in Nipissing. The second thing I didn't like was our comfort station seemed like it'd seen better days and might be in need of a refresh. And the last thing I didn't like about this park was it wasn't the greatest for water sports like canoeing and kayaking. As you can see behind me, the water is pretty calm right now, but it was not like this earlier today. So if you are looking to do canoeing and kayaking, this may not be the park for you, or you may just want to go somewhere nearby. Well, it's our last morning here, and I just realized I forgot to give you a tour of our site. We are in the Nipissing Campground on site 220. This is the view from the back of the campsite from behind the fire pit, and as you can see, there wasn't enough room to have our awning out on our trailer and our dining tent set up, so we had to stagger them slightly, but that gave us nice spots for our chairs, our picnic table over here, and then we still had enough room to park 2 vehicles if we needed to at the front. Overall, it was a pretty nice site. I liked how private it was. You really couldn't see your neighbors on any side of you, even across the road, because they're all staggered and they go back on an angle, so it really does give you good privacy here. Well, I hope this video can be helpful for you if you're planning a trip to MacGregor Point Provincial Park in the future. This is a beautiful park and it's wonderful year-round. We will definitely be back here in the future. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming camping videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Coming up, I'll be sharing our experience at Silent Lake Provincial Park, our steepest campsite yet, so be sure to check back next week.